All right, folks. Yesterday I did a video on how to advance the timing and I got it exactly backwards. So this time I'm going to try and do it really nice for you guys. So what we have here, the flywheel, I already have it marked up. See my little mark there? Where's it at? Right there. Right. That corresponds to a spot on the case. I've also already filed down my keyway in there. What got me messed up yesterday was I have advanced the timing before, not in this manner, doing it real specific like this, but I have advanced the timing before, but I have not done it where the flywheel holds the key. And so that's why I got it screwed up. If you have a regular keyway inside on your crank, right, in there, then you will be taking material from the back side of the keyway, or not the keyway, the key itself. Well, since the key is built into the flywheel on this one, you have to remove material from the front, right? Because you have to be able to rotate the crank backwards, because your flywheel needs to stay in the same position, because that's how we measure it. Yes, you are advancing the flywheel further so that you can get a spark sooner, but the only way that we can do this, or this way that I have set up here, let's say that, is to measure it based off of the crankshaft. So what we do is we put the flywheel on there and we mark it and we consider that top dead center. Let's go ahead and get it back on here. With the crank, the mark is lined up with the flywheel and the crank is fully rotated forward. Now I have a piston stop in here so that I can't go past that. All right. Now with it forward, I'm holding it. I'm going to zero my gauge here. Now, holding the flywheel in place so that mark lines up, we're going to rotate the crankshaft backwards 6 degrees. Bam. 6.1. Right there. And now we just take and we make sure that the flywheel and my mark on the case, you can see the mark on the case right there, right? Right there. A little mark on the case. We make sure that those two are marked up. And we cinch it down right there, holding it together as best we can. Go ahead and get this on here. I guess I'll have to repeat that process again right before I zip it down. Okay. So we go to 6 degrees. And I know that I'm not going to get this perfect. I know I'm not. But does that stop me from trying? Should I not try and get it perfect? I definitely should try and get it perfect. Come on. There we go. Let's call it right there. Now, over here, this is messed up. So we've got to bring it back to where our mark lines up perfectly, or as close as we can get it. All right, let's see now what we got here. We line up our mark. And we're showing that we just advanced at 5.3 degrees. Maybe, I don't know, 5.7. Anyway, so the mark I have over here is, it can't be really specific. So let's go ahead and really crank it down here. Get it. There we go. And vibrated that off. Son of a bitch. Well, because we have that piston stop in there, we can go ahead and reset that easily. Okay. So right there, we should zero it out. And now I'll line my mark up and we'll see. There we go. We'll call that lined up. Ooh, 6.8 degrees is what I actually did it. I'm going to pop that off there. That's too much. I'm spinning the crankshaft backwards. We're going to go real conservative. $2.5. And how about this time we don't use that zip gun? Maybe that'll help us out. Now, this is harder than it looks. Go ahead and just let it go all the way around until it hits that piston stop. Now we line up our marks. What's the gauge reading? Oh, Eureka! Okay, so what did we learn? We learned don't use that fucking zip gun. All right, so that is much nicer. We slowly rotate it around, let it come to rest on that piston stop, and then we crank it down. Let's go back to our mark. There, 5.6. We're gonna call that golden right there. So now we definitely have our timing advanced. It is not retarded. Some people out there I know are going to think that I'm retarded. I don't like that word. But I don't know what else to use, honestly. I think this is the shape that we're in as a country. So, all right. Now that you've watched me fumble through this, I'll make it a separate video, the actual running. Let me turn this camera off. The actual running of the saw.